What's up YouTube? Today I got some online racing for you in Forza Horizon 4. Kicking it off real quick in the Toyota Supra in S1 class here. As you can probably hear, got the V8 swap. You know I love my V8 swaps. They just pull so hard. So right off the bat, moving up into first place, but going to pull a noob move and go straight into the barn find. So if you're looking for your barn finds, I got one for you right there. So dropping down into fourth place as we go over the hill there, going towards this big jump. So moving up into second place as that guy messes up, almost missing that checkpoint. Sliding nicely around this corner here. And now as you see on the map, the guy in first place has gained a whole bunch of ground on the entire pack. So now we are going to have to find him and hunt him down if we want to win this race. So through all this fencing as we enter the train yard. Definitely a difficult corner over that jump if you're not careful. You got to keep it nice and steady through there. And you see him losing some ground on the corners, giving me a little bit of a chance to catch up to him here. And as you can see, the V8 engine just skyrocketing this thing all the way up past 100 miles an hour. And we're just going to follow him off into the train for whatever reason. Quick little tip, if you are ever following someone, do not fixate on their direction, because if they make a mistake, you'll probably just follow them and make the exact same one. So learn from my mistake there. So easy opportunity to pass him as he just decided to drive off the track. Probably a little bit embarrassed after that. So taking the win on that one there. Very interesting race. So on to the next one here. We got a free roam rush. So starting all the way down in 8th place. So not quite sure what track this is. I definitely wasn't paying attention during the loading screen. Almost going to hit a tree there. And going to follow the rest of the pack because I'm realizing that it is not the track that I thought it was. So off into the field here. Going to move up into 5th place, so leading it for the red team currently. Almost going to roll the car as you see the Chevy spin around. Just going to give him a little nod as we drive by there. So up into 3rd place, now having to hunt down the remaining blue team. So just going to go off into the field, going to let them go wherever they please, but I'm going straight towards the checkpoint. Up into 2nd place as we speed through the field. As you can see, blue team is keeping up very nicely, so we definitely got a good challenge on our hands. 3rd place definitely catching right up to me as we speak, and as you see on the right hand side, it is the little stunt park or whatever they want to call it on the map. So they are going to get caught up in that, but I saw it coming, so I stayed on the left side, and as a result going to easily take the lead and going to finish off with the win. So up next we got the Amazon delivery truck, aka the Unimog. So very slow off the line there, dropping down all the way into 4th place. As you see, Farmer Dan right behind me there, or was right behind me in the Ranger Raptor. Definitely a beast of a truck in A class. So this thing's slow off the line, but you can see how much torque this thing has once it gets moving. Pretty much faster than the rest of the pack in a straight line. So on to the first difficult corner here. You see the Evo smashing the Top Gear Mercedes right into the wall. Definitely an interesting choice of car, the Top Gear Mercedes. Never see anyone using that. As you can see, Farmer Dan up there battling for first. Top Gear Mercedes is going to go into the wall as we slot up into 3rd place. So trying to follow the correct route on this part as we find another barn find, but being forced to go left as this thing doesn't really like to turn. So as you can see, losing out another position, so dropping back down into 3rd. This thing might make a better drift vehicle than a racing vehicle. As you can see, the back end just loves to kick out. As you see, Farmer Dan going into the wall. So just going to catch up to him a little bit there. Going to get slightly wall penalized. So as you can see, a massive amount of torque to propel this thing forward. Farmer Dan not even pulling away in the Ford Ranger until we get to the corners, of course. So still managing to keep up with them pretty good as we try and catch up to first place there. But just going to lose a lot of ground on that final corner there. So on the last lap, going to make a couple mistakes and lose out on 2 positions here to the Chevy ZR2 and the Subaru rally car. But Chevy's going to go off into a tree. And we're going to see if we can pass the Subaru before the finish line here and hopefully regain my 3rd place around this difficult corner here as we are neck and neck. And just going to have the torque to gun it to the finish line and take that position back. So on to the next race. We're going to stay in the Amazon delivery truck. As you can see, there are many packages to be delivered during this quarantine lockdown. So here we are on to 4th place as we cut through the field here in these free roam rushes. Everyone just kind of scrambling to get somewhere into the Ford Fiesta as we cross back onto the field here. Over this jump, very difficult to regain your composure if you're not paying attention there. So down into 5th place behind the Jeep Trailcat. But as you can see, having the power to easily get back up into my spot. Getting passed by the Hummer H1. Clearly that thing has a lot of power as we race down this pavement section here. So flying through the roundabout as we pass the Top Gear Mercedes onto the highway. You can see what kind of top end this thing has as we reach 160 miles an hour up into 8th gear. So the Hummer gonna cross over and lose a little bit of speed as he crashes into that Abarth. So just going to easily pass him here as we shift up into 9th gear, 180 miles an hour. So just going to cut onto the field early there instead of staying on the highway and go straight for the checkpoint. And going to avoid that little house and going to take the win here. Alright, so on to the next race in the wide-body Datsun, starting off in 4th place. As you see, we rocket past those 2 right off the line. So up behind the Opel in 1st place. You can see how these 2 cars compare in speed. So just going to be on the brakes a little bit. As you can see, the whole rest of the lobby going into those trees there when I looked back. So as you can see, he's losing a lot of grip and ends up being really slow through that corner. So going into the back of him, and now as a result, he thinks that I am a rammer. Almost going head-on with that BMW, just barely avoiding that head-on collision. So on the brakes for the next corner. Again, he's going to be very slow as he loses grip. Going to end up in the wall briefly. And he's going to fake a ramming attempt on me. So just going to be on the brakes because we know by now that my car is faster. So not going to get too carried away here. Just going to give him some space. And as you can see, once again, he's very slow through the corner. So just going to go and attempt to make a move. A little bit sloppy, but at this point I don't really care, as he has proven that he is a rammer. So just going to avoid the stone walls there. So the fact that I am in a small car, I'm going to stay on the left of the water and then cut through right at the end. So for some reason it's going to give me second place when clearly I won that one. But anyways, moving on to the next race here, just passing a couple guys right off the line, all the way up into first before the first corner here. And as you can see, this thing just sliding beautifully around these corners. So as you can see on the map, just going to leave everyone in the dust. This car seems to do very well on these types of tracks, and as a result, going to take the win. So next up, we got the Lamborghini Aventador wide body. I never really like to use Lamborghinis in this game. They just don't seem to do very well. They kind of feel slow and sluggish, but going to give it a shot here. So we got the wide body, but without the spoiler. I didn't want to throw a huge spoiler on here because the car's already kind of slow enough, and I figured the wide body would give it enough of a handling boost that I wouldn't need to worry about that. So all the way up into second place here, going to be fighting for first with the McLaren lookalike. I don't remember the name of that car. It's like the ATS or the GTS or something along those lines. They actually perform pretty well. I have a couple of them myself. So as you can see, he's a bit slow through the corners, so going to go into the back of him a couple times. So on to this difficult corner here, as we're both going to go into the wall, although he's going to get penalized real bad, and I'm able to get up into first place. So going to make a bit of a mistake here. And as you can see, he's going to come back with the attempt on the inside. So I didn't even see him at the beginning of that. So just going to back off and give him some space there. Again, going to go into the back of him as he is quite slow once again around the corner. So he's going to go a little bit wide and end up on the wall, losing his spoiler in the process, trying to look like me. And we are going to be neck and neck going into the last lap as a result. So going to go narrow and try to make a move on the inside. I'm not even sure if we made contact, but he went flying off into the wall. So if I did that, then I apologize. So again, fighting for first place halfway through the last lap. So turning out to be quite a good battle here. So as you can see, feeling like it might have been my fault. He went into the wall trying to give him first place, but I guess he didn't want it. So nice little battle there. Going to take first place as we move on to the next race here, still in the Aventador, starting behind our friend in the McLaren lookalike once again. So moving up into third place, second place around the first corner. Definitely a fun little track when you got some speed whizzing through all these corners. So as you can see, right on his tail, he's going to go a little bit wide on that corner. Going to give him some space. So coming over this crest here into a hard braking zone. Going to go into the back of him once again. Going to try and give him some space. And he's just going to give up and seemingly let me by. His thought process is probably that since we're on the same team, there's no point in fighting for first place. But that is what makes it fun. You got to get those bragging rights by any means necessary. So finishing off with the win here in first place. Moving on to the next race in the rear-wheel drive Shelby 1000. So as you can see, a ton of wheel spin off the line. This thing got about 1,000,000 horsepower, coupled with no downforce, and we are in A class. So moving up a couple positions here up into 5th place. You can see we got a challenge on our hands here to try and get up in the lead. We got a laggy car around us here looking like an Audi TT. So going to add to the difficulty of this here. So moving up into 2nd place. As you can see, those laggy headlights behind me almost hitting that traffic car. As we go through these fun little corners. So struggling to put the power down in between these corners here without completely losing the rear end. So barely on the gas until we're fully out of that corner. So as you can see, guy in first place must have a ton of power in his car because I'm barely able to catch up so far as we hit 150. So as you can see, just rocketing down the highway here, smashing into a traffic car. So pulling a Farmer Dan and looking at my speedometer instead of the road. And as you can see, guy in first hit a traffic car as well, although it didn't seem to slow him down much. So not having the grip around this corner to really do anything. So catching up a little bit on the final straight, but not able to catch up all the way, and as a result going to take 2nd place as we roll up to the line of the next race beside the Infinity. So losing out to him off the start as we spin the tires. But as you can see, he doesn't know how to turn his car, so he's going to go off into the grass, and we are easily going to move up into 1st place. So around this sharp corner here, just going to go into the van a little bit as we lose the back end once again. This thing definitely hard to control around these corners with no downforce. So around the next corner, going to go in a little too narrow, and as a result, going to end up in the grass. As the winner from the last race moves up into 1st place. So now got to try and track him down so that we don't lose twice. So going to gain on him here as my back end flying through the grass. Just going to be able to pass him on the straight as we hit 150 miles an hour. Hard on the brakes through this corner. Still going to end up in the grass. This thing just does not want to stay on the road. So we're going to give him some space here around this corner as we just feather the throttle so we don't lose the back end. So neck and neck through this straight here, narrowly avoiding the traffic car once again, almost touching. So some very respectful driving here. And going to stay on the inside line around this corner, as you can see. Going to force him wide as I keep my position moving towards the roundabout. So another sharp corner here, just going to go very narrow. And then stay on the inside for the roundabout. So as you can see, he wanted to get by, but he had nowhere to go. So we're going to hold it steady through the next corners here, just narrowly avoiding another traffic car parked on the apex. So up the inside of the Ford Fiesta, around the van. And we are going to take the win. So I'm going to avenge myself in the Mustang. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. It helps the algorithm, which in turn helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.